Hi there, my name is Eli and welcome back to my channel, Jack Elijah. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a San Diego Comic-Con 2024 merchandise haul and overview. So I acquired a lot of fun exclusive items at this year's Comic-Con, and I want to go through like each brand and all the items I've acquired, and from that, use that sort of as a jumping point to tell any types of stories I have from how I acquired these items, just because I feel like sometimes when you're not at these things, you don't really know how much blood, sweat, and tears goes into a Comic-Con, especially San Diego Comic-Con. Like, it is not easy by any means. This is a very stressful, taxing event, and I find pleasure in that, and I find it to be something that's really fun. There's lots of community to be found. There's so much to see, and there's really something for everyone, whether you like movies, TVs, comic books, cosplaying, merchandise. Like, there really is something for everyone, and I want to share my side of the story. I've been going to Comic-Con since like 2008. So for a very long time now, and a lot of that hasn't been as a doll collector. Only recently has my time at Comic-Con been from that perspective of like a doll collector, as you can tell. But I also like to collect tons and tons of other items. So we'll go through each thing that I got, and then I'll use that as a jumping point to tell stories associated with those items at the con. And I didn't take that much footage at the convention, but you know, I tried my best. So I'll also try to like loop and weave through con footage with close-ups of the merchandise, all while I am chit-chatting here with all of you today. So hopefully that format works for you. Let's go ahead and kick this one off. First up of things that I bought were some Littlest Pet Shop. There were some Dragon Littlest Pet Shops that had 3 versions. There was a red, green, and gold, and each version was limited to 2024. So amongst the 3 versions, there was like 6,000 of them, which is a lot of stock and inventory. And these I don't think were like super popular. I think fans like online on this like online digital sphere have this impression that like these LPS dragons were just like flying off the shelves, that people were just like rushing to resell them. But like that's not necessarily the impression that I got. I did get all 3 versions, and then I got an extra red. And like at a certain point, I went on Friday and they had told me like, hey, it's actually now 2 per person rather than 1 per person. Like I went there twice on Thursday and they were 1 per person, and then already by Friday they were 2 per person. So the purchase limit had already increased after like 1 day. So I just don't think they were moving at the rate that I think maybe they thought they were going to move at. I don't know, but I just bring that up because I truthfully think that they have leftover stock after the convention. I wasn't there Sunday, but by Saturday they had stock. So like if by a miracle come Sunday they sold everything, cool. But I don't know. I think they've leftover stock. I don't know what they're going to do with that leftover stock, but I want to mention this because I know that like the secondhand prices probably are expensive, and even the retail price of $25 is a little pricey. But, you know, they weren't just like this coveted item that people were just buying to resell. At least that's like what I saw there. And I also want to say these items I think were kind of intimidating because they were at UCC distributing, and these were part of like a lottery system where if you wanted to purchase there for like the first half of the day, you had to have a slot in this lottery portal. Comic-Con does this like exclusive portal, and each attendee can try to opt in to get an exclusive. It's like really convoluted and difficult. Not that difficult, but I used my dad to help me out because at this convention I was there with my fiance Isaiah, my mom, my dad, my little brother. So I had a lot of help, which is very, very nice because sometimes when you're like a free agent and it's just you, it's so hard to be in so many places all at once. So thankfully I had my dad's help. So on Thursday morning, he helped me get an LPS, and then I went later in the evening with my fiance once the standby line opened up, and then I picked up 2 more. So Thursday's tally is I had 2 red and 1 gold, and then I needed a green. So I went back on Friday to get the green one, or at least attempt to get the green one. And I like strolled up, and I was like literally carrying the red one because I was trying to find someone to trade with. Like that was my game plan. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy one more and see how I do. And I asked like the guy there, I was like, hey, like I need the green one. Like, do you guys have the green one? And he's like, yeah, I can check. I'm pretty sure I have a green one for you. So he comes back and he's like, here you go. Like, I'm pretty sure that's green. And I'm like, okay, please, 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 please. I don't want to buy any more. And it was green. So maybe they knew too, like which ones were from which batch or something. I have no clue. But like, if I didn't vocalize that and ask, I would have never known. So thankfully by Friday, I was done getting all my LPS and I'm very happy. They're really cool. I like that they're like numbered and they have like a specific edition size. That's also really fun. And because I was left with like an extra red dragon, I decided to unbox one and keep him out of box. And I think he looks really cute. I unboxed this one because on his like little forehead, the like gold paint on one of his diamonds there's like a speck and like a bump on it. So I was like, you know what, he's kind of flawed already, like I'll just unbox him. And I like that I got to unbox one. I feel like if I just had the 3 red, green, and gold, I would have kept them in box, but I ended up with an extra and it was fun to get to unbox one. And I really like these exclusives. You know, UCC is a really weird booth. They had tons of random exclusives. Like I got this random like Fuggler there. I don't really collect these, but I was like, I guess I'll buy this. They had like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, Funko Pops, Squishmallows were really popular. They had tons of things, but they also had the Littlest Pet Shop. I think the way UCC works is like because Basic Fun didn't have a booth at the convention, they went through UCC as their distributor at the con. So like that's kind of how all that thing works. But I like that I got them. They're cool exclusives. I hope if you want them, you're able to get them secondhand for a fair price. I didn't do like any pickups or anything, and I also wasn't looking to do any reselling at this convention because I just am not into that. So the dragons I got are all mine, and I love them and I enjoy them, and it was kind of easy to get them, surprisingly. I think there was this impression that they would be really difficult to acquire, but I actually had kind of an easy time getting them, like just a little elbow grease, but I got them in the end, so I'm pretty happy.
Hello, Devil.
Okay, up next was Neopets. I got some plush from the Neopets booths. Well, actually, this plush, this Aisha, was from the Neopets booth. The Shoiru was from the UCC booth. Now, my dad, who helped me at UCC, where he got me the Littlest Pet Shop on Thursday morning, he also picked up this Shoiru for me, as well as this Fuggler. This was just like a total random thing, so I got the Fuggler, the Shoiru, and the Littlest Pet Shop Thursday morning, thanks to my dad. And he got really lucky with that lottery portal, otherwise I probably wouldn't have this plush. And these things apparently were selling out really quick in the morning. They're limited edition to 500, and they actually tell you the edition size. So for my Shoiru, I got 408 out of 500, and these are themed to celebrate Neopets' 25th anniversary, so they're kind of like birthday themed. I really love him, he's so cute, and they did 100 per day. So they had a daily allotment of 100, it's 500 total. So across Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, UCC and Neopets would each sell only 100 of the plush. And I like that because imagine if you're only coming for one day, say like Saturday, and you only wanted this plush, and then you get there and they're like, oh, we sold out on preview night, like sorry, like that would kind of suck. So not every booth does this, but some booths do, where they do daily allotments, which I prefer. And so yeah, I picked her up Thursday morning at the Neopets booth, and then Shoiru was also Thursday morning. And just for some context, these plush are highly coveted because they come with an in-game code. And the code you can redeem on your Neopets account, and you get a little gift bag. Once you open up the gift bag, you get 3 items that are exclusive to these plush. One of those items is a stamp, and if you know the Neopets stamp collecting, like it's very, very competitive. There's tons of stamp collectors. In Neopets, there's like a stamp book, and then there's pages, and there's like 20 stamps you can fill in that page. And then once you fill that page, you get a collectible avatar. So it's like a collecting in collecting, because you want to collect the stamps to complete the pages. So you're not only a stamp collector, but then you're also an avatar collector. Neopets is just really intense. Like, I'm sorry if this makes no sense to you, but because of that, these 2 plush are extremely expensive secondhand, which sucks because I got them for $25, which, you know, is a little high for retail, but I'm an actual Neopets fanatic. Like, I've loved Neopets since I was like in elementary school. My account is maybe like 21 years old. I still play daily. I still zap my pets. I'm playing in the plot. Like, I try my best. I customize my pets. Like, that's kind of all I care about, honestly, is customizing. Like, I'm not really there for like galleries or restocking or the Battle Dome. Like, I'm really just there to look at my pets and make them look cute. And so I have a lot of nostalgia for Neopets. I love this brand. I've always loved this brand. I remember as a kid, I would bug my parents to take me to either Borders, Barnes & Noble, or if you remember this, Limited 2 also sold Neopets plush. And Limited 2 was at malls, and it was like a very girly store, like very pink. And I'm a little boy, and like always felt really self-conscious, like trying to ask my parents to go in there to buy Neopets toys, but like I was determined. Like, I wanted my plush. Like, I really wanted them. So I would still ask and like go through the embarrassment for the sake of enjoying my Neopets toys. I remember I bugged my dad to buy me a Shadow Gellert plush off eBay, and I still have that Shadow Gellert plush. So yeah, I just have a lot of fond memories of Neopets, and it's very fun to be able to buy and collect the merchandise as an adult. Amongst other things that I got at the Neopets booth, besides these plush, I also got some stickers. I got a hat. Oh, they had this huge bag that you got if you bought merchandise. A lot of places do these like huge bags. So here's the Neopets one. This is the current plot going on, the void within. And then this one has Velcro, so be warned for your ears. And then this big flap opens up and you can see, what is that, Bright Veil? Is that Bright Veil? And it's gone gray, I can't tell. But yeah, very cool that you just got this with your purchase. Maybe you had to spend a certain amount. I actually don't remember. I feel like I probably spent a certain amount to get this. There's like little straps on it that say Neopets. Honestly, post-con, like, what do you do with this? Like, I really don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but it's kind of become its own souvenir. Oh, and I forgot, because I already did my LPS portion, but I also got this big Littlest Pet Shop bag. And my dad didn't even have to ask for this. They just selected this one for him. So I got really lucky because this was the bag variant that I wanted. So this is actually really cool. I really love this. And this is like sort of like just like weird merchandise that like it's just random, you know, but like I kind of love it. And what else did I buy there? I bought a hat. I bought a lanyard and pin set. And then I also bought some Neopets pins, not at the Neopets booth, but at What's Your Passion Jewelry. And they always do con pins there, and they come with exclusive in-game codes. Anyways, I love Neopets. It was a lot of fun for me. And one last thing I want to mention about this whole Neopets story of Comic-Con is my fiance went to Neopets first thing Thursday morning because I was going to Tokidoki. I had everyone in my family like on board with helping me out. So Isaiah went to Neopets for me. I went to Tokidoki. Tokidoki was a bust. It was a flop. So I immediately left Tokidoki, ran over to Neopets, and I was like, hey, Isaiah, like, I'll take your spot in line. Like, you go do something else that you want to do. Because I'm not going to have him wait in the Neopets line when, like, he's there helping me. And now that I'm a free agent, like, I'm going to take over. So we did a little line swap, and then I finished shopping. And while I was at the Neopets line, I noticed there was 3 guys in front of me who were, you know, a little bit masculine, a little burly, you know. I was like, okay, are y'all actual Neopets fans? Like, I'm being all judgy, like low-key in my head. I'm like, are you real Neopets fans? And guess what? They weren't, because I saw one of the guys literally looking at the eBay prices for this Aisha plush while he was in freaking line. And I was like, that is so annoying. And like, you know, obviously there's resellers at these things. I totally get it. People want to buy merch to resell, especially because I think this plush resells. Last I checked, it was like 200 and I bought her for 25. And the in-game items is honestly the only reason people want her. Like, they don't really care about the plush. Maybe they care about the plush. I don't know. I feel like people care more about the exclusive codes than they do about the actual plush. But yeah, I literally saw resellers firsthand, which is very saddening because there's lots and lots of Neopets fans at the convention who wanted these items who didn't get them. Because I think people don't realize that, like, to get certain merchandise, you have to really, really plan your day and like figure out how you're going to go about your day. I got to the con Thursday morning at like 6:10, so I could get in line and wait like 3 hours before the convention opened so I could get these items that I wanted. And I noticed a lot of people would stroll up to the booth like 10, 11 and be like, hey, do you have any more of this Neopets Aisha plush? And the staff and the team would be like, no, it's been long sold out. So yeah, you know, if you're an attendee and you want your items, you have to do your research and figure out and kind of gauge as best as you can how early you're gonna have to line up to get these types of things. Because for me, if I couldn't buy this plush at 25, there's no way I would have gone secondhand and purchased this for 200. There's just no way. So I'm glad I got her and Shoiru for retail. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because I think it's interesting, and yeah, it's part of my con experience, so I thought it was worthwhile. Here's a little Darth Vader, very cool. Okay, making our way. Very cool. Okay, the next booth I want to talk about is the XOX Kweenie's booth, which is a new toy brand from Moose Toys. And my favorite thing from Moose Toys is the Magic Mixies Pixlings. And I low-key was hoping that the Pixlings would be there. But to be honest, I didn't even know that these new XOX Kweenies were going to be there. I only knew about these because I watched X Canadensis' video at Sweet Sweet where she was looking at these and they looked so cool. And so I just knew them from that video, but I fully wasn't expecting them to be at Comic-Con, mainly because the only thing I saw posted about the Moose Toys booth was featuring their Mr. Beast toys, which I don't care about. I don't like Mr. Beast and I don't care about his toys, so cool for whoever does, but that just, didn't really pique my interest. But when I got to the convention and I saw that these were there, I was fully bought in, and I was like, okay, I want to buy one and see what they're like. So Thursday, I buy one. There's two series they have. There is Quirky and Fearless, and I bought a Fearless box. I got the standard Queen of High School. There's actually two versions of the Queen of High School. I got the vampier one, the purple one. There's also a blue one, but I got the purple one. And funny enough, that was the big figure they had on display too. So I was like, okay, that's the one I got. Very cool. And they also had an LE1000 Comic-Con exclusive, which was also a variant of the Queen of High School. So I bought that as well. That was only $15 for an LE1000 Comic-Con figure. These standard blind boxes sell for $10, which to me is, I think, their best selling point. They come with the figure, an acrylic display case, and a collectible card. The $10 and an acrylic display case, it really just blows my mind, because one of my issues lately with this sort of adult mystery blind box collectible is they have become so expensive. If you think about the popular ones, right? Think Smiskies, Sunny Angel, Pop Mart, Tokidoki. They are all now $14 to $18 for one figure, which for me is just a lot to keep up with. And I used to collect Tokidoki pretty consistently, and then I would buy Pop Mart sporadically. I actually feel I got into Pop Mart before they kind of blew up and became big this year. I got into them some 2 years ago because I found a Demu figure in New York, and I was obsessed with Demu after that, and now I love the Pop Mart figures. I love Pucky, I love Sweet Bean. Obviously everyone loves Skull Panda. I'm not as into Skull Panda, it's just less my aesthetic. I'm more of a cutesy vibe rather than an edgy chic vibe. But yeah, I like Skull Panda. I like a lot of their figures. I like a lot of them. I was so much into it that I even knew things about the licensing, how the Sanrio and Disney licensing collabs weren't available to be sold in the US, because a lot of my favorite Pop Mart figures were the licensed ones. I like the Sanrio Pucky ones, I like the Disney Pucky ones. I just really like Pucky. But yeah, Pop Marts are now really expensive. Those figures have gone really expensive, not just retail, secondhand as well. So the fact that these are $10, come with the display case, is a little bit ridiculous to me, in a good way. I think they're really fun. One thing I think is a little weird about them is they all come with this chrome gold crown, and it bears a lot of resemblance to Funko, in my opinion. Funko is a 4-point crown, this is a 3-point crown. I get that they're called Queenies, but I just fear that they might run into legal troubles because of that. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but that's something that I noticed, as the logo is very similar to Funko as far as a crown. So that could be concerning. But I want to bring up something about these as well, is that they have like a secret figure, which is just sort of like a more rare one, but then they also have a limited edition figure in each. So for the quirky ones, it's like this little UFO girl, and I think she has like lights and sound. And then for the fearless ones, oh my god, I love this one. It is like a movie night one. It's called Queen of Spooky Night, and she's got green skin with like stitches, kind of like Frankenstein, which I love that they're limited of 1,000. And I feel like this Moose Toys tactic of having like LE 1000 items in their merch lines, it makes sense here in a blind box. Like these make sense to have an LE 1000 item. The Pixlings, it doesn't make sense. Maybe for the Mixlings and the mini Mixlings it makes sense, but for like the actual dolls to do an LD 1000 Pixling doll, I just don't really vibe with that. So it's interesting. Like I wonder how Moose Toys has decided like who and what gets it, because it seems like they're kind of heavy-handed with that tactic. And I get that tactic is meant to encourage sales, right? Like you want to chase that LE 1000 figure, and it feels more limited because there's a number attached to it, right? Rather than it just being like a rare figure that like typically rare figures are like Tokidoki, you'll be like 1 out of every 36, 1 out of every 48, you'll get the chase. Pop Mart, it's like 1 out of 112, like it's even more ridiculous, right? So that, while that is hard to get, that even feels like less difficult because it's not like, oh, well, the figure that you want, there's only 500 of them. There's only 1,000 of them. Like that tactic, it's not my favorite. It does feel good, right, to get an LE 1000 item, but I don't know. It's not my favorite thing that Moose Toys does. Overall, I love this booth. I had so much fun. I kept going back and buying them. I bought one on day one. On Friday, day 2, I bought 2. And then by day 3, my last day, I think I left with like 4 more. Okay. But the lady working there, shout out to you, Mallory. Mallory was like just an angel. She was so sweet. She recognized me by day 3. She's like, "You're back." And I'm like, I know, like, don't bring attention to it, but I'm back. I was like, I really like these. I just want to get a couple more. And I bought 2, and then she was so sweet. She threw in a 3rd one for free. She's like, here, take another one. I was like, oh my god, thank you, Diva. So I opened those 3, and I got 2 of the pickles, like the gold pickle and the green pickle. And then I got something else. Did I get one of these ones? I did. I think I got the Queen of Game Day, like the baseball one, which is really cute. But then I was like, do I need 2 pickles? Like, I kind of like the green pickle. Like, I care less for the gold pickle. So I went up to Mallory. I was like, hey, like, I got 2 pickles. Like, I really wanted the Queen of Catnaps. Like, can I do a trade with you? And she's like, let me just grab it for you. So she literally went on the show floor and like grabbed me the Queen of Catnaps and just like gave it to me. And she's like, do you want a display case? I was like, sure. Like, I'll probably display it with my other ones. And then she gave me the display case too. So for the Queen of Catnaps, I don't have the collectible card, but like Mallory grabbed it for me herself. She was so sweet. So Moose Toys, I don't know why you'd be listening, but if you're listening, like, she was really cool, and I appreciated her. And I also brought a Pixlings. I fully will vocalize what I like. That way the brand hears and knows that there's interest in that brand. So like maybe in the future they have a presence at Comic-Con. Who knows? I'm just one person, but I always will advocate and bring up dolls because I love dolls. And so I'm always talking about dolls, and I'm like, you know, the Mixlings, the Pixlings, you know, you like the Pixlings dolls? I love Pixlings. Like, I was being a lot, but in a good way. Like, here's the thing at Comic-Con is it's a social event, and a lot of these people, for Moose Toys, for example, they've probably never worked an event like this, and when they were at Sweet Sweet, that's like an industry event, right? So there's a sense of decorum. But let me tell you, at Comic-Con, that decorum is out the window, and a lot of people just move in any which way, right? Behavior is not always the best. So I like to sort of ground those events and just like take it slow, have casual conversation, and really just like listen and be there for the things that interest me. Yeah, overall, I really like these toys. I think they're really fun. They're interesting. I'm curious to see how well they succeed. I don't think they're in stores yet, so like I'm once again very interested and curious to see if this brand thrives and does well. I think it's a great thing that they came to Comic-Con with a Comic-Con exclusive limited edition product. That to me is like the best mentality and attitude you can have. Pop Mart was there. Like, Pop Mart was like literally like 15 feet away from this booth, but they didn't have like a Comic-Con exclusive figure, and like they're a well-established brand. And the fact that this is like this brand's like first showing and they already came with a Comic-Con exclusive just tells me like they're not here to play. So yeah, I'm excited to see the future of this brand. If they do well, if they don't do well, if they don't do well, oh well. I still like the figures I have, and I think they're really cute. So I'm a fan. Okay, on to Monster High. So we're all here for dolls. I'm a Monster High collector. That was what I was most looking forward to. And I did get the Deadfast Ghoulia. Here she is. I also got her signed. Friday there was a signing, and it was super cool. I did get the reservation for it through the lottery system, and I was so nervous I wasn't going to win. It was in the lottery exclusive portal or whatever. It was Friday from 2 to 3, and I entered for it, as well as I had Isaiah and my mom enter, and they also won, so they got to come with me to the signing for Deadfast Ghoulia on Friday, which is kind of funny but weird, because, you know, last year I was solo, this year I had my family with me. And while I was in line, the line kind of like looped a little bit, you know? While I was in line, I was like staring at the designers while they were signing, and I think it was Olga that noticed me. She literally was like, hey, like, I remember you from last year. And I was like, like, yes, me, like, that was me, hello, it's me again, I'm back. And it was just like so random that she like pointed me out in line. I was like, diva, like, real respects real, like, obsessed. So I looped through, get to the front of the line. I think it was like the order was Charisse, Olga, Piper, then Glenda. And I can't even remember what I said to them. Like, I was just obsessed. I was like, I'm back. Oh my God, hello. I think it was Olga that was like, oh my God, like, we loved you from last year. Like, we've been trying to find you. Like, who are you? And I was like, hey, what's up? Like, it's me. I was like, well, last year I didn't really have socials for Monster High, but like this year I do, because, you know, I've since done a YouTube thing, stint, and whatever. And so I told them who I was, whatever. It was cool. Like, whatever, we're cool now. We know each other. We're like buds or whatever. I'm totally kidding. But yeah, Piper and Charisse were there last year. No, not Piper. Oh my God, Olga and Charisse were there last year. Piper and Glenda were new this year to working on this doll, but it was so much fun. I gave them some more friendship bracelets that Isaiah made for me to like spread the Monster High love. And I was just telling them how much I love Deadfast Ghoulia. I love how meta she is, because she's like a geek in the universe, and she's attending NecroCon as a fan, cosplaying for her favorite superhero. Like, that's what I'm doing. Like, we're just on that same wavelength, me and Ghoulia. So I just wanted to make sure they felt the love from us Monster High fans. And to me, those intimate experiences, like, that's what makes Comic-Con.
1, 2, 3. Oh, okay.
Got it.
So when you're online and you're disappointed that like the reveal for the day was maybe lackluster at the Mattel Creations booth, that's only one aspect. Like, when I roll up to the Mattel Creations booth on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and I see the new reveals, it's cool, but like, the show must go on. Like, if it's a flop, it's a flop. I still have things to do. I still have places to go, places to be, experiences to be made. Like, that's not the entire con experience. And so I think like that online Instagram perspective, it's really like flat. It's not multidimensional. It's not giving you the full story. Part of that experience, if you're a fan, is like going to these signings. Also, not only going to these signings, but talking to the designers. On, I think, Saturday, I was with Isaiah, and we were at the Mattel Creations booth, and I was wearing my G3 shirt. I think it says like something like "Creepin' It Real" or something like that, like "Creep It Real all year long." I think that's what the shirt says. But someone there at the booth like noticed it, and then we started chatting, and then I didn't know that she was a designer for Monster High, and then someone else joined in, and we were all talking about Monster High together. And I don't want to name names and like who the designers were, just because I don't want this to trace back to them, where then fans are in their DMs like, oh, I heard you said this at Comic-Con, and like, I just don't want kind of like a paper trail like that. So I'm going to be a little bit anonymous with who I talked to specifically, but it was two designers I got the chance to chat with. And it was really fun to have that dialogue with them and share my opinions on Monster High and G3 and like what I love and my favorite characters and what I want to see more of. I was really, really hyping up G3. And from what they told me, one of them specifically said that like she was shocked because everyone that's come through has really only been talking about G1, and like I was one of the few people talking about G3, which is why I was there to hype them up and like offset all of the G1 love, because like I love G3 and I want to see G3 have a presence at future Comic-Cons. And from what I heard, the design team is fighting for that. Like they're also trying and fighting for that, but there's pushback, of course, because Comic-Con has a very specific audience and fans, right? And you want to put out an exclusive that's going to be popular and do well and succeed. And so I think there's a fear and like a hesitation from Mattel that if they do a G3 exclusive, if it's going to flop, right? You don't want to flop. You want to thrive and sell out. So I get that fear. I think it's still possible if they were to figure it out. Because my thing is, like, back in the day, right, when Monster High was just introduced and they had Comic-Con exclusives, like, there was no aspect of nostalgia, right? It was like a children's toy brand. So when they did like a Manny and Iris exclusive, and when they did a Black and White Frankie exclusive, and they did a Dead Fast Schoolia exclusive, like, who was the audience for that? Was it just adults? Was it just children? Was it an overlap? Wouldn't that same mentality then carry on and exist for G3? In theory, it should, but I think because of the history and context of the brand having this nostalgic element with G1, that sort of just like overshadows G3, and it's unfortunate. I was also really advocating for another G3 Ghoulia doll. I was like, she needs a redemption, and from what I gathered and heard, it doesn't seem likely. So like, if we see a third go at Ghoulia and Generation 3, I'd be surprised. I'm not expecting it, to be honest, but I was really, really fighting for her because I think she could slay in G3. From what I heard, they said Toralei is really popular because of Monster High, the movie, the second one, which makes sense. I was like, I love Toralei. That's cool. I think they also said that Venus has been really popular. But yeah, I remember they said for sure Toralei is really popular as well as Venus. And they were asking me about Skulltimate Secrets, how I feel about Skulltimate Secrets. I like brought up the hair as nice as I could, that like I don't like the hair, but that I love the dolls and that I'm obsessed with them and that I customize them. So there was just lots of dialogue that we had back and forth. But you have to remember, we're at Comic-Con. We're on the show floor. I'm trying to have a conversation while there's people coming up, grabbing a pin, grabbing a lanyard, doing a this, doing a that, and like it's really easy to get distracted and like go off topic. So we would like have a minute of conversation, and then it would kind of be like, okay, like they have to do their job. And then we'd have like 2 minutes of conversation, and then they had to do their job. And this went on for like 15-20 minutes before it just got so chaotic that I just left. So that short time that I did have was really fun, and I loved getting to chat with them. And I'm just not the type of person that's gonna like pop up in a designer's Instagram DMs and just like bug them, but like in person, when you can sort of establish that connection and have eye contact and just like an in-person connection, that's always going to like have a different spark. It's going to have a different element to it, I think, that you can't really find anywhere else. And what better place than Comic-Con to try and have that dialogue, have that conversation with the people who are making the toys that you love, right? So okay, the timing for this is actually pretty perfect because I totally forgot to bring this up, and the timing is just right because we got some stock photos of the new Holiday Cleo Denial doll. But I wanted to mention that the designers, one of the designers, told me at Comic-Con that after Cleo and Skelita, Holiday is actually going to be taking a brief hiatus, and we won't be seeing any more Holiday dolls come 2025. And I think that's actually a pretty good decision. I think the line's gotten just a tad bit stale. I mean, I think the Skelita doll looks a lot better than the first one, and I think Cleo looks good as well. But not since the very first release of the winter-themed Draculaura has Holiday really been that popular. Like, these dolls don't really sell out. They eventually stay in stock to the point where they're marked down. And I think for Mattel and for Monster High, they want to have dolls that are popular, that, you know, sell out, or at least, you know, close to sell out. And Holiday just hasn't really been doing that. So I don't blame them. It makes sense, and I'm excited to see what else we're going to be getting in Holiday's place, and I'm excited to see what 2025 has in store for us. So that's another aspect of Comic-Con that I think like you can't really find anywhere else. You can't get that online in the same way you could get at a place like Comic-Con. So for me, as a Monster High fan, like, it was a great time. I really admire Mattel. I went to the Mattel panel that was on Thursday. It was like Mattel Creations Goes Behind the Scenes. It was kind of a flop panel because it was really confusing. Like, I thought I was going to be in a panel room, but it was just on the show floor. It was kind of poorly organized, which I don't want to fully blame them, but like it was poorly organized. But it was really cool. I think that one had Alina speaking at that panel for Monster High amongst other people, and like Alina's portions were the best. They showed behind the scenes like concept photos for like Pennywise and Wednesday, and it was just really cool to hear her talk about the brand. And you can tell that the people working on Monster High just have so much reverence for it. And as a fan, that makes me feel good that the people making these toys like and these dolls like truly love them, and you can see that in the end result. So I want to mention that my Mattel Monster High Comic-Con experience was great. I loved it. It was my favorite part of the con, and yeah, I'm sharing that because what I've seen online is that like, oh, Monster High was a flop. They don't know their fans. Like, why do they keep messing up this, and the other? But it's like, if you were there as a fan, like all that hullabaloo going on Instagram, like I was busy, I was moving, I was grooving, I was working, I was talking, I was buying things, I was just like busy. Like I didn't even know that was going on, and I'm over here like having a ball. So if you want to have a ball, try going to Comic-Con because it's a totally different experience than what's happening online. I'll tell you that much. Okay, now let's move on. I also was interested in Tokidoki, and Thursday they were doing a signing from the creator Simone, and they give away 50 wristbands. So Thursday morning, my game plan was to go first thing to Tokidoki, get a wristband for the signing. That was like in the afternoon, I think, from like 2 to 4. And I did the signing last year. It was so much fun, so I wanted to do it again. I go to Tokidoki. I'm rushing there Thursday at like 9 in the morning to get in line. I'm in line to get a wristband, and I miss it by 2. Okay, it was only for the first 50 people, and I was number 52 in line, so I didn't get a wristband. And at that point, that's when I raced over to Neopets, swapped spots with Isaiah, and then like that's everything that happened. But I didn't even want to get in line for the merchandise. I was so frustrated. I just left. I was like, I'm done. I'm leaving Tokidoki, whatever. But it's fine. I didn't get the signing. Like, it's whatever. Someone else got it. I'm sure they had fun. But my mom later went to Tokidoki on like Friday, I think, or Saturday. I can't remember. And she picked me up the like little Midnight's Unicorno, as well as one of the Mystic Magic Unicornos. That was like the new series for Comic-Con. And I got like a witch one. She's cute as well. She's like purple and green. I can't remember her name, but that's what I got. And then my mom also randomly grabbed the Sanrio Cherry Blossom series just because she thought it was cute. Like, I didn't even ask for it. And she wanted Pachaco, which taste. But I wanted the little Twin Stars Unicorno. And that's the one she pulled, which I was like, Mom, like, I need this. Like, this is mine. Like, I'm so sorry, but, like, I'm taking this. And she gave it to me. So, thank you, Mom. I love that Unicorno. It's so cute. It's my absolute favorite. But I still think Pachaco looks cute, and I would like to get Pachaco. I do have the Chaser Pachaco from Series 1. And then Series 2, I got the Narwhal version. But, yeah, I only have one from each series. And like I said, I'm pretty casual with Tokidoki now. Like, I'm not as in the thick of it just because I'm more preoccupied with dolls, but I still like Tokidoki. I also got a lanyard. Their booth is pretty fun, and I always think of Tokidoki and Comic-Con as like going hand in hand, because when I was a kid, like I remember I bought a Tokidoki with my little brother there, like series 3 or 4. Okay, I got the like Cleopatra one, and I think we got like a David Bowie style one, like a rainbow one. I still have them too. But yeah, Tokidoki is very nostalgic. I just don't collect them as much anymore. I have like them all in this little plastic bin, and I don't really display all of them all at once like I used to. So as much as I still love Tokidoki, and I like to just get a little bit of Tokidoki merch here and there at Comic-Con, I'm just far less interested in it than I was in the past, which is fine. You know, our interests sort of like wax and wane with time. So for now, I'm totally content with what I got this year, and I still think their stuff is really cute. It's just very expensive, so I have to be very wise with where I spend my money. Last thing I'm going to talk about today is Calico Critters. It was so random that Calico Critters was there. I had no clue they were going to be there, but I love Calico Critters. And I remember, okay, there's this clip in Pen 15 where Maya and Anna are playing like Sylvanian families at school. And, well, they're playing it at home, but then Maya brings it to school to surprise Anna because they're excited to play it when they get out of school. And they get, like, made fun of for playing with dolls, so they run to the bathroom and they're all, like, embarrassed, but then they still go home and play it. And, like, part of that episode is, like, growing up and that embarrassment you feel as a kid from, like, the toys you like, and kind of how sad it is that you lose that, like, youthful innocence and, like, that essence of of childhood, and it just stuck with me. And I never collected Calico Critters as a kid, but like I've known of them. They were always at like specialty toy stores at malls, and I like loved them so much. I remember I bought the like ones they have at Target. It's like a knockoff. What is that one called? I have no clue. Woodland something, I can't remember, but I got a little owl from there. Like Woodsies? Are they called Woodsies or something? I can't remember. But I was excited to see Calico Critters there. I know they also have sort of become popular on social media, and that's probably why they were there. But they were the nicest booth. Let me tell you, the Calico Critters booth was the nicest. The people in line were sweet. The people working the booth were sweet. Like, it was my favorite booth. Just like the best energy ever. And I bought lots of Calico Critters, as did my fiance. So it's like a joint haul. He got the burger set, I got the bunny set, and then I think we got some mysteries as well. And then they had like a little wheel that you could spin, and it was like a lucky draw wheel. And
Okay.
and it was $10, and there was 8 prize tiers. And I've always wanted to do something like this. I watch a lot of like Japan vlogs where they do this at like convenience stores or like the Pokemon Center or the Sanrio store, and it's just such a fun concept. So I wanted to test my luck, and when we did it on Thursday, we both flopped. I did it and Isaiah did it, and we each got the lowest prize tier, which was white, and I was sad. So we went back Saturday and we did it again, but this time I learned more about the like wheel system. And behind the booth, there's like a wall with the prizes. And when someone would win that prize, it would get taken off that wall and given to the guest. And it would be removed from the prize pool. And I had noticed that while I was waiting in line. So in my head, I was like, well, if I'm going to go spin it and the prizes I want aren't on the wall, I'm not going to win the prizes I want. So I asked the lady at the cash register, and I was like, hey, like, does that wheel, like, when the prizes are gone, like, are they gone for that round? She's like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait for another round. And she's like, we do about 13 rounds a day. I was like, okay, cool. But I was like, I can buy the ticket now and just use it later, right? She's like, yeah, just check back later. So that's what I did. We each bought like, I bought $20 more, so I got 2 more spins, and I just checked back throughout the day. It took me like less than an hour. I looped back to the booth, and I noticed that the top tier prizes were restocked. So I went back to the booth, did the little wheel spin. This time, I was better. I didn't get the top prize that I wanted. I think I wanted the train, which is like...
Okay, green. I'll take a green.
You want the green and the white. For the green, you get the penguin.
Yeah! Okay, I'm
And for
happy.
the white, you want the twins.
Can I do the Huskies?
Huskies, okay.
which is like the third from the top. But I got a green and a white, and the green set was this cute little like penguin set, and they're so precious. And I'm so happy that I won like a deluxe prize. But it was very cool. And then while I was waiting in line for the wheel, like I heard people talking like, oh, do you get like a free wheel spin? I was like, no, like it's $10. I was like fully explaining the rules to them. I was like, yeah, like there's 8 tiers. Here's how you do it. Like if the prize is taken down, you have to wait for the next round. Like I'm trying to educate the public, because on Thursday I was not educated, and that's $20 I could have, you know, done better with. So I'm fully in the line, like sharing all the tea. But to me, that's what Comic-Con is all about, is like talking to other people, sharing those bonds over just like, we're at Comic-Con in line for Calico Critters. Like that's what we're doing here today. And like, it's fully unironic. Like we're all serious. Also, I saw a little girl win like a top tier prize while I was in line shopping, and she was so excited. She was like jumping up and screaming, and it was just the cutest thing ever. And you know, I think there's a lot of opinions and perception that like adults who collect toys or dolls or whatever like sneer and like scoff at children, which I want to say I think that's kind of blown out of proportion on the internet, because like it fills me up with so much joy to see kids enjoy toys. And I'm kind of on the side of like the school of thought that like kids grow up so quickly nowadays with technology, social media, iPads, that like I want to nurture children to be able to play with toys and not feel ashamed or guilty. Because I remember when I was a kid, I felt a lot of shame about playing with toys. Like I remember I played with Bakugan up until high school, and like I was so embarrassed about the whole thing. And I wish I could go back in time and like not feel that embarrassment about liking toys. And it does feel very liberating to be an adult who collects dolls and toys and feels like very little shame about everything, because I had so much shame growing up. So anytime I see kids just like be happy and irreverent about toys, like it makes me so happy because I want that to be nurtured. So I want to share that because, like, you know, especially sometimes when I'm talking about my perspective as an adult, I think you just get people who come in here like, well, you know, these are toys that are made for kids, by the way. And it's like, yes, I know. Like, I'm not stupid. I have two eyes. Like, I know a lot of the things I collect are made for children. Okay? That doesn't mean I'm jaded. That doesn't mean I hate children. But like, I can share my adult perspective while also still like acknowledging that children are a huge part of this industry. So that's the last bit I have for Calico Critters. I'm gonna now show you a lot of the like other miscellaneous goods and then probably do like a quick little voiceover on that, because there's still some other things that I want to talk about that like are just random, right? They're not like their own particular booth. There's just like random things that I also acquired that I happen to love. So I'll show you that real quick. Okay, here is Tamagotchi booth. It was super fun.
Thursday.
Isaiah went here solo day one. Like when I had a release
There's
kit
our
at
soul.
Neopets,
He's still alive. He's
he
still
ran
alive.
and went over to the
But
Tamagotchi
very cool
booth
booth.
and he
Sometimes
picked
they
up
have
the
a little
Tamagotchi
mascot
for
right
him
now.
and me, which is very exciting. There is the mascot Kuchipachi, and he does come out in like a full costume sometimes. And we were able to snap a pic with him, which is super fun. Like, look how small he is. He's such a little mascot. But the booth was popping at Tamagotchi. It was super busy all the time, and it was pretty cute. I liked the booth a lot. It was a lot of fun. Here's the one Isaiah got. It is like the Tama time travel variant, and I think this was exclusive to Comic-Con. It's pretty cool. I like the shell on it as well. And then he picked me up the Hello Kitty one, which is super kind of him. So thank you, Isaiah. I love this Tamagotchi. It's very cute. And surprisingly, the Tamagotchi itself is this really pearlescent, almost opalescent white with some pink details, which I was not expecting considering that the packaging is very red, but it's so cute. I haven't played it yet just because, you know, I'm not ready to become a father, but there it is. And I was talking to someone at the con. I think they said these smaller versions are easier to take care of, so that's exactly what I need. But I love it. And then there's a little bag. Everything came in just so adorable and precious. There were other things to do, and we were walking and saw the Marvel section. Now, Marvel's always really busy, and there was this photo op for Deadpool and Wolverine, which normally I probably wouldn't wait in a line, but at the con, I saw someone wearing this dog pool pin, and I had asked them, and they said you have to go here and take a photo to get the pin. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do that. But first up, we have this Wolverine pin. I actually didn't earn this one. My parents got this one for me. I think that was at the Marvel Lego section. Here is the Marvel Rivals Galacta pin. You had to do like the beta demo to get that pin, but my parents once again got me it. And then there's the dog pool one. So very cute. I love all these pins, and they're all free, which is very fun. And then here's some Smiling Friends cosplayers, so cool. And then we went to the Adult Swim section that was like free to anyone. You didn't have to be an attendee of Comic-Con, you could just come out and visit this. And the lines are pretty long, but we got there, and there was this like Mr. Frog beanbag toss. I think you got like 5 or 6 beanbags, and then you had to land 3 to win a prize, and you could pick between multiple options. For the beanbag toss game, Isaiah made all 5 of his shots. So he got to get the Glep plush as well as like a Rick and Morty blanket, which whatever, it was just added bonus, which is cool. And then I think I made like 2 of my shots in, but they still gave me Glep, which is really kind of them. I think towards the end of the day, they were just like handing out the plush a little bit more willy-nilly, you know? And then we also got a Mr. Frog enamel pin, as well as this really cool Adult Swim bandana. I had like folded mine to wear around my head, so that's why it's kind of creased like that, but I love the bandana. And then we also got a Pickle Rick pool floaty, which is totally random. We don't have a pool, but you know, it's a cool thing, I guess, to win from Comic-Con. I also visited the Loyal Subjects booth, which was very cool to see. They sell Rainbow Bright, Strawberry Shortcake, I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Avatar The Last Airbender toys. Quite the assortment of options. And funny enough, even though I'm a doll collector, I don't love the like classic vintage style Rainbow Bright and Strawberry Shortcake dolls. But these little chibi figures were really calling me. So I picked up this 5-pack right here. They're kind of like special effect, translucent with glitter fill, and I really loved them. They were kind of like they weren't a true con exclusive. It was more like a first to market type situation, and I think that retailed for $20. And then I picked up 3 of these blind boxes with 2 figures in them each. So these retail for $8, which I think is pretty fair for 2 figures. And I did get a rare one, luckily. I think I got a pretty good assortment and no doubles, so I was happy. I got Strawberry Shortcake herself, as well as her pet cat Custard. These are really, really cute. I'm so happy I got Custard. I love the pets the most. And I also got Pupcake. I got Custard and Pupcake in the same pack, so that was amazing. I also picked up, well, I didn't pick up, like I didn't choose this, but I got Raspberry Tart as well, and Blueberry Muffin. And then the rare character I got was Ginger Snap. I really wanted Huckleberry Pie, but I didn't get him. But I like the characters I did get, and I still got him in the like blue translucent version. The only thing is my Orange Blossom, like her head is kind of askew, like it's kind of glued on bad, which makes me sad, and I don't know if it's worthwhile reaching out to them, but unfortunate that the QC isn't perfect, but I don't mind. Some squishmallows. They look okay. Kind of black light. I'm over the black light trend. Sanrio! Oh my god, look at the My Melody. I've seen this one at Walmart already. I've seen these at Target already. Very cool. Yeah, whatever. Wrestling, anime, Jujutsu Kaisen, I see Chainsaw Man, My Hero, and costume. Hello, Patrick! Hello, SpongeBob! Look at Rainbow Bright! Hi, Rainbow Bright! And then I'll stick so cute. Hi, Aisha. Yay! So cute. Okay, well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. This is a little non-traditional, kind of casual chit-chat video, but I really had so much fun at Comic-Con. It took up a lot of my time, a lot of my energy, but it was really, really worth it. I've been struggling, like, getting back in the thick of things since Comic-Con and just, like, regaining my energy and my drive. So it's a slow start back to working on videos, but I'm gonna get there. To make matters worse though, next week I'm going to be going to Cancun for a wedding, so I'm going to be gone for like a week. So I might try and pre-film some videos for next week. Who knows? Don't hold me to it. But, you know, I have a life. I'm living my life, and I love making YouTube videos, but, you know, life happens. And so sometimes I'm absent, sometimes I'm active. It just depends. I'll try and be active, but I may or may not be. And I just want to mention that because I love YouTube. This is primarily where I like to engage and interact with dolls on social media. Like, yes, I have an Instagram, but like my posting is so slow and so sporadic. So YouTube is where I really enjoy spending my time the most. And I want to mention that because, yeah, I'm going to be gone for a little bit, and I'm sorry. But overall, I had so much fun today talking about all of my Comic-Con merchandise items. I really love Comic-Con. I'm a huge fan. It's not for everyone. It is not for the faint of heart. It is a lot of effort, but I'm local to San Diego, so I don't have to worry about airfare and lodging, and it's a really easy experience for me as someone who's local. It's kind of like people in Orange County who go to Disneyland. You know, it's just kind of convenient. I really wonder, like, if Comic-Con were to either move out of San Diego or if I were to move out of San Diego, how much effort I would put towards attending this event in the future, just because I've gone so frequently. But then after every year I leave just being so happy and elated over like how much fun I had. I really had a lot of fun, and part of that fun is because I was with Isaiah and I was with my parents and my brother and friends, and just like spending it with my loved ones. Like, it's a fun thing that we can do as a bonding experience. And I think for my dad especially, he took me and my little brother when we were kids, so I think he really enjoys that process as well. It's a lot, you know, when your kids grow old and then like you grapple with that as a parent. So I like being able to go with my family and have this be an experience that we can all share together. And I really appreciate all of them for helping me get these items, because I know I'm very lucky, you know, to have my fiance or my mom or my dad help me buy the dumb little collectibles that I like. Like, I really don't take it for granted. So that's all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below if you've ever attended Comic-Con or if you would like to attend Comic-Con. Like I said, it's not for the faint of heart, but like, it's a lot of fun. So if you are into collectibles like I am, I'm sure you would have a blast. Okay, that is all I have to share with you for this time. My name is Eli. This is my channel, Drac Elijah, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.